April 10th, 2020. It is 39 degrees, I'm cold, and I'm bothered. I don't really want to be doing this today. Renovating a shed is enough. Setting up a camera, doing all this crap. First, I'm gonna give you a little recap of what's been going on since the quarantine, all this COVID, what have you. Renovating the shed today, which I've been wanting to do for years. First, I installed a window that I got from the Restore. Now I'm gonna tear off the front and install an exterior door so it is weather tight and I can lock that bitch. Honestly, I didn't sleep very well last night, and I don't know, every day's a blur, right? And in addition to sheer boredom, self-loathing, and existentialism, some good things have happened since the quarantine. Allow me to review. I mulched the garden this year, and I fenced it. Those are strawberries. We planted trees, and then it snowed. That's a Honeycrisp, that's a Belle of George peach, and that's a nectarine of sorts. I can't remember the name. Frozen. Ever seen it? Had a couple of fires. 3 of those stumps don't exist anymore. We burned them. Singed a few hairs. Built a retaining wall.
How did I plan this moment? With pleasure.
This window from the Restore, $20. Good deal. The occasional downtime. Oh, it's super cool. Found this concrete planter. Built these garden beds. This is where the lilac bush used to be. Now it's here. I like it. Hope it blooms soon. Planted some perennials. Buried like a ton of drain tile. Okay, like a lot. And my neighbors too, because I see it inevitably. Here, going, all the way back to somewhere right around there. Seriously, anything to stay busy. That's it. It's a little messy right now. Standard work area. I need to carve out a little more room, to be honest, but this is what I did yesterday. I put the window in. The trick there is siliconing like crazy, and you don't want any leaks. I insulated. I'm starting to patch in with all this scrap drywall. So there's a couple of reasons why I'm doing the build. One, I want to maximize value, maximize efficiency. I mean, this is a doghouse. I can sleep in here, I can work in here. And when all is said and done, it might add another $5,000 or $10,000 value to the property. And then I'm just scrapping like most of these materials. Like I'm either going to the Restore. A lot of this lumber I just kind of salvaged from previous projects. The door, I mentioned the door, right? $25. The secret to buying a $200 door for $25 is to put a $25 sticker on it. And you know, if I ever go on a long trip or something, I can store like all of my valuable stuff in here. Always want to have a plan B, especially when I don't have a job currently and I've got a bankruptcy pending. Did I get a stimulus check today? No. Oh, I wanted to share some news too, which is that I got nominated in 3 categories at the Iowa Motion Picture Association Awards, and I was super pumped because the award ceremony was going to be like a month ago, and of course everything got canceled, and it's postponed for another 6 months. But it made me think that, I mean, it's something I already know to be true, which is that like awards are fun, but they don't really mean anything, right? You know, it's fun to get like little plaques and put them up on the wall and even post about it on social media, but you know, it's like, okay, great. Well, I'm a filmmaker, so I'm just gonna keep making movies. Ta-da! All right, so I skipped a couple of steps, but you pretty much know what I did here. I patched in. I still have to shim it out tomorrow, but it's gonna be good. And today we're gonna paint it, which is probably the most satisfying part because it means all your hard work is done. And we're talking about prepping this shed for the next 20 years. because that's what it deserves, and it's gonna get painted Santa Fe red. It's barn red. I'm excited.
Today, red. It's gonna be red. Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
All right. Back to the show.
Yeah, part of the reason why I got such a good deal on this door is because it had already been installed by someone who clearly didn't know what they were doing, and there was like 100 holes in it. And so much of the renovation process is taking all that shit away. Kind of just wanted to enjoy a beer and take it on Easy Street. Two-inch tapered brush, my favorite. That's pretty good. Those crisp lines, baby. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe because it helps me keep doing what I'm doing and feel good about it. But if you want to stick around for 4 minutes of expose on me editing the video and my thoughts on it, stick around. I wanted to take this opportunity to explain myself a little bit better in terms of my philosophy as a filmmaker, and I wanted to share with you an experience I had the other day, which is my mom came over and of all people saw my rough cut and gave me a criticism about how the lighting was in the studio space, and I had to just explain that, look, I'm trying to move at the speed of creativity and thought in a way that the tech doesn't dictate. In other words, I'm on the webcam right now because that suits my purpose. It's fast, it's easy, and my main goal is really to just get the ideas flowing and express myself artistically. And that's another point I wanted to make, which is that my YouTube channel, for whatever it's worth, is actually on my resume, and so employers or potential employers have weighed my professional output against what I'm posting on YouTube, which I'd like to think that they're both one and the same and both of a really high caliber, but the truth is I'm just letting it rip both artistically and creatively. And anyway, I wanted to take a brief moment to show you what's under the hood of this timeline and just show you what my thought process is going into this and how I edit. Alright, this might get a little meta, but I just thought it would be fun to look at. This is the current timeline of everything we've seen so far, up until about the 4-minute 30-second mark. Everything that's in green right here, that's going to be all of the narration I did for the recap. And that was kind of fun. So I recorded all of that in studio, obviously, and I was basically just watching a feed of all of the video clips that I got in my backyard and then just pairing them up. So not only am I weaving the visual elements against the beat of the music, but I'm also weaving the narration. Let's see. I can't remember the name. Frozen. Ever seen it? Had a couple of fire. You see how the music and the audio is just playing off of each other, and then the visuals add a third element. So it gets pretty complex. Now, the reason why I stacked a lot of these video tracks is I had options to choose from. And I know this might not look as clean and orderly as if, you know, you're looking at like a final cut timeline, but this allows me the most latitude, and I'll show you what I mean. If I zoom in here, you know, for instance, oh, I want this clip instead of that one, I can just stack them. And then sometimes when I layer them like this, it's very easy to just drag out, you know, especially especially if you zoom in and you're looking at, okay, I want to hit this beat right here, then, you know, I'm going like that. I'll undo that shit because I don't want to mess up this edit. But see, this to me, again, is another perfect example of just having limited time and resources. I didn't want to set up a light in there. It was already cramped enough. So I just took it as it is. It's completely overexposed. There's nothing I can really do about this in terms of color correction. I mean, you can see me go like this. And maybe I'll dial that in a little bit, you know, kind of tweak some of the shadows and the highlights. But I mean, who cares? It's what I'm actually saying in that moment. I'll usually pick a variety of songs, both from hip hop to classical to, I always like to get like some sort of rugged guitar, like Western style thing in there as well. I am constantly trying to either be saying something, or you're hearing music, or there's a sound effect. I want it to be really full. So full, in fact, that you don't even have to watch it necessarily. You could just listen to it. So usually the first track that comes that hits some inspiration will go in the beginning. I'm looking for something really dynamic that when I'm watching this, it really pops. And I've been criticized for using this logo over and over and over again, but I think not only did it take me a really long time to do, I gotta pause that, but it becomes this creative challenge to constantly find new music to overlay on it. And I'm sure it'll change eventually at some point. I'm just not really ready to do that. I'm just trying to make other videos. And I usually just take it from left to right. I knew that I wanted to do this recap first. It took me 2 days, which is ridiculous. And a lot of people would say that's completely impractical. And you're absolutely right. But the truth is, like, the destination is one thing, which is fun. But I also extremely like the journey of it all. I learn something about myself every time I edit one of these videos, and then I'm guilty of watching it over and over again after I'm done. So it's a learning process for me. Anyway, we're gonna get back at it, but I just wanted to show you a little bit what's going on here, and I'll probably release another video here shortly where I actually go into my methodology start to finish on a video project and really get into some of the nitty-gritty of why I do the things the way that I do them. And let's get back at it. The white accentuates the red accentuates the white. Dogs and cats living together